Hi guys, hello, it's me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. And we're back with a witchy video, as I always say, because it's always true. I'm always talking here about witchy things. Now, at time of filming, I saw something online about Hecate, and I think I've kind of done well, because old me would have been like, hell no, and started an argument with somebody. But new me is like, no, because life's too short. Sometimes you just can't argue about things. You'll know what it is from the title and stuff, but the misinformation that's spread about Hecate is prevalent and it's never ending. And I think a lot of us that know Hecate in any capacity, because although this is misinformation, there's also no right or wrong answers to things, and she is many things to many different people. And with that being said, there is no right or wrong per se, but then there's just outright outlandish BS that somebody's spouting to like be on a pedestal or a high horse or some sort of voice of authority here. Well, Hecate is not about that, right? So if you come across stuff like this, take it with a pinch of salt. But arguing over it's not going to get you anywhere. I know from experience, and I know that's what Hecate has been teaching me. But I just wanted to dispel what I've seen, and we're going to share it, and we're going to dissect it. So let's get into it. But hello, if you're new, I'm Sarah, just introducing myself. I'm that divination witch, like the glowy sign says. You're welcome here. This channel is a safe space I set up for Hecate, for myself as well, and for you guys, to help each other out. If I can't help, I encourage people to help in the comments. No questions silly, ask away. Everyone's different. There's no right or wrongs here. But just be respectful, help each other out. And if you do want to support the channel further, I do offer readings, hence that divination witch. It's all linked below. I've also got a Patreon, and this year we are embarking on the year of the dark goddess. So if you want to step into your power, if you want to learn more about what the dark feminine is really, then come join us over on there. I'm going to put some screenshots on the screen, and to be quite honest, I might be nice. I don't know. It's not a case of being nice or not, but I might just blur this person's name out, because this channel, I've called people out in the past, and I ain't about that, because there's plenty of drama channels out there. Go watch that. I'm not here for drama, right? But we are going to dissect this, right? So there's a lot of videos like this, and yes, this was TikTok, but it's not just TikTok. TikTok seems to be the most prevalent for BS like this, but here it's not just online. I've seen books out there that really talk about Hecate in a way that she just isn't, and I can't name the books. I can't name the authors and the weird cult-like followings behind them, but trust me, they exist. That's all I'll say. So, do's and don't with Hecate. Fair enough. Don't use the word witch. She prefers the term daughter. Bomb. Sorry, this is why. Can you see why I'm reacting to this? Oh, God. And then she spent centuries hidings to protect her daughters. Did you ever see her name mentioned in any reported trial? Right. Okay. Okay. So, I'm sorry for laughing. But it's funny. Right. Okay. Let's dissect this. The word witch. Witch. What the F does the word witch mean? Where does it come from? The origins of witch, I believe, were Anglo-Saxon originally. It came from the word weird, which meant wise. And therefore you have the term the Weird Sisters, which is still a thing. If you've watched Sabrina on Netflix, they named some characters that. But they were found in Macbeth, Shakespearean times, 1600 times. Hecate herself is mentioned in Macbeth, by the way. These three witches in Macbeth. This is where a lot of common common. A lot of modern grimoires link Hecate with the Moirai, which are the Greek fates, the three fates, or the Norns. They're known in Norse myth, it doesn't matter. They link her heavily with that because of this Macbeth play where he stumbles across the three witches and they give him a prophecy and they're worshipping the goddess Hecate. All right, so the word witch comes from Old English, Saxon, that time, and it didn't mean a bad thing. But as time went on, 1600s onwards, and witch trials were prevalent across the world, not just in Salem, they were all over Europe, especially the Spanish Inquisition. Bloomin' heck, that was brutal. Now, I'm no historian, and I may get some facts wrong, but they were just a bloody excuse to murder people. That's what it was. Anyone different, anyone with a vendetta, they're a witch. It was superstition. It was Christianity that did that. Now, I'm not calling all of Christianity this. It was the men controlling Christianity at the time, okay? King James hated anyone different, and yet he had a weird obsession with demons, and he wrote a whole book about them, which he also rewrote the Bible, and that's your current version of the Bible, or at least one of them. So, I mean, yeah. It's very much mankind, or men, and I hate to say it because women weren't allowed to be in charge. I'm not saying women didn't have this opinion, but controlling people who were less fortunate. If you look at the Pendle witch trials in England and look to a lady called Alice Nutter, she wasn't even a witch. She has a statue, but it wasn't just her, but her evidence of being a witch, it was a little girl who was like forced and coerced into giving some stupid accounts of things that happened. It was all because some other guy wanted Alice's land and wanted her out the way because she was quite a headstrong woman ahead of her time. So like I've said, I'm not a historian. I don't know if Hecate's name has been mentioned in any official witch trial documentation. I don't think people would have even known who the hell she was, especially say if you're from Pendle, England in the 1600s. You won't know who the heck Hecate is. You would just know nature. You might know little bits and bobs about the old ways, but you wouldn't know who she is. So it's not a case of Hecate doesn't like the name witch. Her own daughters were witches in history. Now, I'm not talking biological daughters. I'm talking about Circe and Medea. Sorceresses. The goddesses of witchcraft in their own right. Adopted by Hecate. She adopted the monsters and the misfits and all these things like the Empusa and Scylla, the sea monster. So I think that's wrong. Yes, people have this whole problem with the word witch now. A lot of people don't like to be called witch. I love it. That's why it's in my username. Call me a witch. I don't care. Right? I'm reclaiming that word. It's like others in other minorities or social circles reclaim words, so I'm going to reclaim witch. That is not a Hecate thing. She doesn't give a shit. You can call yourself a witch, an occultist, a daughter. And why is it just daughters here, by the way? And why is this a gender term? Because the term witch isn't about a gender anymore. Yes, you had witches and warlocks, so, stereotypically, that's the two different names, but no. Witch, men can be witches. There are male witches. There are non-binary witches. So this is not a gender term. And therefore, why are you just saying daughter and not sons or children or child? That's very, 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 very much misinformation here. Now, she disappears if you start practicing curses, hexes, or blah, blah, blah. I looked in the comments after. I think they meant sorcery. That's absolute wrong as well. Hecate condones such things when they are justified. And like I have just said, some of her own daughters were sorceresses in their own right. Sorcery is just another word for magic, really, in the modern context. Now, Hecate is very much somebody who appreciates and respects free will. She'll never force anyone to do something outside of their free will. So if you were doing a hex or a curse, or not even just a hex or a curse, it could be anything. You could be forcing somebody else to heal and they don't want to. You could be forcing someone to address something that they don't want to. You could be doing a love spell. She can and has blocked things like that. An example I did was not a hex, not a curse. I tried to banish somebody and she stopped me doing it. If she doesn't feel that it is right, because she is basically all-knowing. She's not just the witchy goddess from Hellenic times. She is the divine feminine, and she knows consequences not just on other people, but on yourself as well. So I think this could be a bit of misunderstanding. She doesn't just disappear. And plus her name means works from afar. So a lot of the time she's there and you don't even know, because that's how she is. She exists in the liminal. She doesn't need fanfare. She doesn't need recognition all the time or anything like that. But to say this is wrong, and it's more misinformation. She condones such things when it's justified. And if you make a mistake once or twice, if you try and do something that she doesn't like, she'll teach you a lesson, but she's not gonna abandon you over that unless you're not listening. So I tried to banish somebody because they were being a dick to me. She stopped me. Okay, I didn't try again. But if I was persistent on that, if I didn't pick up on that, then that's what I mean by teaching you a lesson. It's not that she's gonna slap you or punish you in any way. It's learning. That's what deity work's about. Don't mix her worship with other deities. Les, you can ask for help in a specific case, but if you have an altar full of deities, she'll step back. She's not a socialite. What a crock of shit. Hecate is above all of this, right? And she actually leads you to other deities and other spirits. It's not just a deity thing. She is one aspect of the divine feminine, and therefore she can bring other deities to you, or other sides of herself to you as well. She gets along with most deities on all sides of the spectrum because she's so ancient, so primordial. She doesn't give a flying hoot about labels or anything like that. She will get along with others for your highest good, because ultimately she doesn't want any of us to be lost souls. That's the whole point. She rules over the restless dead. She doesn't want us to be lost and wandering forever. So if it's for your highest good, she'll work with angels, she'll work with demons, she'll work with deities, she'll work with ancestors, she'll work with spirit guides and animals, and that's absolutely wrong. And she has led spirits to me and other deities to me to help me with certain aspects of my life and things I'm going through that she technically could help with because she's that powerful, but for whatever reason I need to listen to somebody else's advice or somebody else's teachings. She's led Lilith to me and still does. She's led Loki to me. There are many others in and out of my life. I've been on different sides of the spectrum, let's say. That is wrong. That is totally wrong. Do protect, clean, purify, ask for help. Don't harm intentionally or take advance of an innocent or weak. I think what they mean is don't take advantage of others. This is not wrong. Okay, so this is one point they got right. And I think that's common sense, isn't it? Whether you work with Hecate or not, keep your energy, your space, your area, everything cleansed, because spiritual hygiene is of the utmost importance. So keep up with that for your own sake as well. Hecate doesn't really like mess, no, and she will tell you, you need to cleanse, you need to do this, you need to do that. Otherwise, well, learn the hard way. And don't take advantage. It goes back to what I said on the hexes and curses point. She respects free will. She fights for the underdog. She fights for those who have been through traumas and issues and things. So no, she doesn't like when people take advantage of others. Absolutely not. And she will teach you a lesson for that. She will stop you doing that, you know, and that's when you see her angry side, if you get on her bad side. Now, I wouldn't want to be you. I've never been on a bad side, touch wood. I wouldn't want to be you if you ever were. So that's a point they got right. Don't rely on revenge. Hecate loves justice. Okay, she does love justice. I've already mentioned that. I don't know what they meant really by relying on revenge. It just harps back to what I said about, if it's not justified, she'll stop you, like me in the banishment, for example. So if it's something that isn't 100% justified, then no, she's not going to go ahead with that. She's not going to help you with that. So I think that's what they meant, yeah, and that's fair enough. And this is the last point they made. Do spells to send awareness and honesty, obliging them to see their shadows is more effective than a curse. I think what they mean is, if somebody has wronged you, get them to see why and their problem. This is kind of putting your morals onto Hecate in a way. Like, when you're saying about do spells that blah, blah, blah. No, you can do whatever spells you want, but if it's not for your greatest good and if it's not justified, then she's going to stop it, basically. You can't tell people what spells to do and not do, or what sort of magic to do and not do. Hecate does many different things, and there's many different paths to work with her. Some people are more left-hand path inclined, some people are more love and light inclined. She can go along with many different styles of things, but all in all, Hecate, no matter what you were initially drawn to, she is very much the in-between. She is the grey area, she is the crooked path. So if you do truly end up working with her, you will start to see things for what they are in a different light and see the balance of things, the balance of nature. So whether you end up doing more ceremonial magic or more herbalism, no matter what you're going to label yourself as or whatever, you're going to be treading that middle ground. And as time goes on and your practice develops, you're going to be dipping your toe into different things. She did that to me. With my practice, I started off very naive at first, and then exploring my ancestry, and then exploring connections I had from past lives and things like this. And then suddenly I'm thrust into demonology, and I've worked with that for a while, and now I'm back with my ancestry. I'm back with very much the dark feminine, and that's why we're doing that on Patreon, because I'm very much in tune with that at the moment. I always have been, but you have to go through certain lessons to be well-rounded, and that's what she ultimately wants for all of us. So I used to be very timid, very scared, and so facing shadows, and especially with some left-hand path deities, or what people would call demons, that's very much facing your shadows, So she will present to you deities, trials, tribulations, tests that you need to go through on all ends of the spectrum, all avenues. So if you have, I don't know, I've known her, it hasn't happened for me because I don't have this, but I've known her make people work with angels. And when I say make, it's not force. It's like she guides you, and then ultimately you get there. And these people normally, I'm not saying everyone, but this is an example. You could have religious trauma, for example, and you could think, well, angels are just these fluffy things. And I guess in a way she helped me see that they're not. Because I was under that misconception too, very much an Abrahamic lens of looking at them. Well, angels are so powerful, and they can curse people. They can harm people if they need to. Very much like Hecate, though. They don't go around doing that all the time. But there are angels that are very much warriors, and she may get people to say work with them to open their eyes to the reality of it. It was like me with demons. I was scared, if I'm honest, once upon a time. Now I speak on the channel about them all the time. I just see them for what they are. It's like lifting a veil, because a demon, I don't want to make this a video about demons here, but a demon isn't what you think from Abrahamic religions. Go and look at my videos on them. A lot of them were gods themselves that were then demonized. A lot of information we know has been warped and changed, again, by mankind. Going back to that witch thing, by the likes of King James, with a vendetta, with an agenda. Oh, we're not having this. We're going to do this my way. So all in all, Hecate is above labels, and she can fit the mold for many different things. So this was just an example of something I've seen recently that I just couldn't stop laughing at the witch thing. And I thought, I was going to, say what the fuck basically, but I'm not going to get into that. No, Hecate's taught me, stop doing that. A lot of us get passionate about her. Hecate can be many things for many different people, and I will be saying that till the cows come home, because she keeps wanting me to say that. Like, there are famous occultists out there that paint her in a very much certain way in a box. And she's not even that. She can be that, but that's not all she is. Like, painting her out to be this dark seductress figure. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that just want to do sex magic, basically. And it's like, really? She's not just that. So that would raise red flags to me. So if anyone's ever telling you in any capacity, whether it's online, in a book, even your friend, if they're telling you you must do things a certain way with Hecate, they're talking out their ass. Don't listen to them. Hecate can be a mother. She can be a mentor. She can be a lover. She can be this disembodied primordial energy that doesn't really have a face or name. She can be many things. She's anything and everything all at once. And if someone's trying to tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, they're full of it. I remember at the beginning of my practice, somebody telling me that I'm so disrespectful because I would light Hecate's candle during the day. What are you smoking, love? What you doing? Absolutely not. Now, of course, she is a dark goddess. Now, dark doesn't always mean bad or evil, and it doesn't always mean nighttime either, by the way. She is worshipped at all times of day. She's got many different sides to her. I didn't know that back then, though, and I felt like a bad person. I felt like I was pissing Hecate off. As a brand new witchy pagan, I'm like, oh, am I doing this wrong? With these gatekeepery assholes that are out there, ignore them, okay? That's why I've made this video. I'm not starting beef. I'm clearing it up. She is to you what she is to you, and that's that, okay? Please, if you're new to this and you see something, get a second opinion. I'll help where I can. I'll make videos like this. I can't answer everyone, but put it in the comments. If I see it, I will answer. But help each other out as well. There is no right and wrongs here, right? No right and wrongs here, right? All right. So if you made it this far, you may as well hit subscribe. If you want to learn more about Hecate, I've got a whole playlist about just her on the channel. Go check it out. And you know what to do. Hit subscribe. And until next time, stay safe, stay witchy.